So, brain cell. So, as I've mentioned before, I'm a big tabletop RPG player, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever you want to call it. I and but every single time there's like a collaboration with the Dungeons and Dragons, or there's some sort of like or stuff like the Dungeons and Dragons movies, I'm always I always takes me a second to be like, oh yeah, though there's like an official setting, because I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for over 20 years, along with other TTRPGs, blah 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 blah. And I have never once played in an official setting or done anything that actually included the real lore. It's always been homebrew my entire life of that I've played Dungeons and Dragons. In fact, like the thing is that like I was under the I didn't think anyone actually played with that. I always thought that that was just like sort of everyone just sort of made their stuff up and that was like the default. But apparently there's a lot of people who are like super in depth on like the novels and story and like world building of Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm like, I've never once even considered like that is like a setting. Like people will talk about like Eberron or even stuff like Vecna. Vecna showing up in like Stranger Things. Like I don't know who Vecna is like at all. And I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for since I was like 6, and I don't know, and I barely know. I only know who Vecna is because of like modern media, and like I said, it's just so alien to me that this game I've been playing forever had a storyline that I just wasn't like familiar with at all. And it's just like so like they would then it would be stuff like they would announce like Dungeons and Dragons movies, and I'm like, how are they going to do that? Dungeons and Dragons is about making up a character and going through stuff. Are they just gonna do like generic monster manual? I mean, that's kind of what they do, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, do they just make up? That's just a generic fantasy movie with a Dungeons and Dragons name on it. Was kind of how I always thought of Dungeons and Dragons outside media, is like it's the same as every other fantasy, just with the Dungeons and Dragons name. Anyway, like I said, it still just feels a little bit alien to like think about the fact that there is like established lore, deities, characters in the in like the Dungeons and Dragons universe, because it was never there when I played it.